Good afternoon. My name is Sergio Reyes with the EDA Consultants. So we have tonight the neighborhood workshop for the Chestnut Townhomes with the preliminary development plan. I'm going to do a very short presentation, and after the presentation, you can ask your questions. Also, this meeting is informational only. It required as a part of the Alachua County review process. So you have been muted in the group. You have any question, like I mentioned before, you mute yourself to speak, or you can type your question in the chat box. So we are presented tonight as two parcels located in the north side of Southwest 79 Way. You can see it there highlighted in red. There are larger parcel and a smaller parcel. But project contain those two parcels. So the parcel numbers are 07053-000-000 and 07053-001-000. The location, approximate location, is in the 5864 and 5872 Southwest 79 Way. The total combined of the two parcels is a little bit over 10 acres, 10.04 acres. The future land use of these two parcels is medium density, and medium density allow up to 4 to 8 units per acre. That's the land use. The zoning district is residential, single family, R1B, and again allow up to between 4 to 8 units per acre. What we are proposing tonight is a preliminary development plan for up to 72 units. And there will be single family attached residential units. It will be a platted subdivision, basically. They can sell those lots. And we are proposing around 72, up to 72 of those lots. This is the general layout of the proposed subdivision. The existing house that you guys see in there, that's gonna remain, and all of those trees around that house are gonna remain. That house is gonna be converted into the clubhouse and amenities for this subdivision. The area in yellow are where the residential lots will be located, and again up to 72 lots. That's what we are proposing. And the area in the west side, that's going to be the stormwater facilities, adjacent to the other stormwater facilities to the pond. So again, this is the first step in many steps to get to the point to construction, getting construction started. So tonight we are doing the neighborhood workshop. Then we're planning to submit a preliminary development plan, and it was going to happen in December. And then this go to the county commissioners for approval. And we expect that is going to happen in the spring or next year. We don't know exactly the date because the county decide that. Then after that, they will be submitting final development plan, which is construction plans. That will be after the approval of the preliminary development plan. So we'll be sometime in the spring of 2026. And we expect to have final approval of the construction plans sometime fall 2026. You see in there down there, this presentation, it will be posted tomorrow probably. And you also can email us with any additional questions besides tonight's question. You can email us at permitting@edafl.com, or you can call us here at the office. The number is listed in there. So I'll be glad to answer any questions right now, and I'm gonna come back and shoot you guys got another questions about the layout. So I'm gonna come back to the layout. So who is next? Who is first with questions?
Yes, thank you so much for this presentation. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Henley, we can hear
Okay,
you.
yes. So the question that I have, first off, I didn't get your name. What was your name?
My name is Sergio.
Sergio, your last name?
Reyes. REYES.
RYPIS. And you were with CDA, and where are y'all based out of?
We are here based here in Gainesville.
You're
We've been
based in
here
Gainesville.
London.
Okay. Yeah, we, you know, I in talking with a lot of the Chestnut family that have been here a long time, we definitely have, you know, significant concerns as far as unfair burden to our property owners. And one of the questions that I have is under traffic and safety. One of which is, has a traffic impact analysis been completed? Is my first question.
No, that will be happen sometime in the near future if the county required to do that. When we were also the designers of the Chestnut Subdivision, all of that area on south, we designed that project and get permitted that project. And if you guys remember, Southwest 79 Way, it was designed already to provide access to this property, and it was designed, the cross section, to carry additional traffic for the development of this property. The county at the time requires to do that.
Okay, the next question I have is, again, under traffic and safety, what intersections do you see increased as far as congestion or failing grades? And then what traffic improvements will you see? I guess what traffic improvements will you be responsible for versus taxpayers being responsible for?
The traffic improvement, like I mentioned, when the original Chestnut village it was designed, it was considered this area already to be developed because it was a part of the plan. And you can, again, 79 way was designed in a way that will collect this traffic in there. We do not expect any traffic, any intersection improvements at this time. The generation of traffic is not be big enough to require any improvements to any of the roads adjacent to this property.
Okay, so the way I understand as far as no traffic report, and you're saying unless the county requires a traffic report from you. And if I'm understanding, looking at this map, it looks like the only way out for this proposed community is 79th Way, which consistently right now has a lot of congestion from not only traffic from construction that is adjacent to us with the apartments, but also traffic that cuts through from Hickory Forest. There's a significant traffic and safety burden right now, and that's a major concern. And again, I speak for many in our neighborhood. This is one of the many concerns that obviously we feel has an unfair burden to us as property owners. But that was my one question in reference to traffic and safety. I think a few others may have questions as well. So I don't know if you had questions, Omar or Mario or anyone on the call.
Yeah, anybody else? Any other
Yeah,
questions?
I got a clarifying question. I do apologize. Chad, you stated this is the only way out. I want to confirm with the constructor that the only way that is currently designed for this community to leave is through 79th Way. Is that correct? There's no other than the Ports to Hickory.
Yeah,
Is that a fair statement?
There is a connection. When Chestnut Plantation was designed, there were two connections serving these parcels. The one was Southwest 79 Way, and the other one is Southwest 60 Avenue. That was already planned when the Chestnut Plantation was designed and approved. Now, Chestnut Plantation, I'm sure you guys know that you have two access points. One is to the south through Southwest 79 Way, and one to the west through Southwest 16th Avenue and go to the adjacent subdivision. So you got two access points. Those two access points are gonna be used for this project also.
Okay, and then with that being stated, thank you for that information. What is the current water, sewer, and stormwater capacity in this area, and will you be increasing that?
The water and sewer are located in both roads. Again, we planned for this long time ago. There is sewer connection here at a location at the end of Southwest 79 Way, and the water connection in there, and the same with Southwest 76 Avenue. There is a sewer connection in there and a water connection at that location.
Okay.
Yeah, Hi, this is Omar. We're here from Chestnut too. It looks like talking about like water and things like that. It looks like the design, like the preliminary design that you guys sent, has your has the new developments like drainage area. I can't remember what it's called, like watershed area, whatever, where things drain, abutting to ours. So I'm expecting that the idea there is that any overflow during a storm will go also to our drainage area. Is that the intent behind the placement of that?
Uh, in general terms, yes, Mr. Lopez, the way it work when we design the basin in your side, the water already today is draining in that direction. You know, I realize there's an empty lot, vacant lot, but the thing we have to do as a part of the requirements of the county and the water management district, we're gonna provide all of this area in here, they say stormwater system, all of those are gonna be new ponds, new basins serving this development. But in an emergency, like you indicate, that will be discharged to the west into your stormwater system. Your stormwater system, it was designed to collect runoff from these parts are pre-development conditions. What that means is you are allowed to discharge today in the way it's draining in that direction. There is another drainage in here, in this area in here, that's the reason the separation of those two houses, they got a larger separation. There is a piping system in there. They go into your large basin to the south, and we are also allowed, and there is an inlet and a structure in here that we designed for collect some of the runoff coming from this parcel. So again,
So
this was planning.
right now, that area is not level. Are you gonna level it to like our stormwater system? I
No,
live right there. Because right now
yeah,
the water
yes.
won't flow up.
I realize that no, we are not planning to go in any of your properties. We cannot do that, you know. So everything will be within located with our property. No, we're not
So
planning to do that.
okay, one of the reasons I ask about the abutting water management systems is because right now the Chestnut community spends a lot of money maintaining those areas. So I'm curious about how that's gonna work. Like
Yes.
I spend a lot of money maintaining, like, or the community itself spends a lot of money maintaining that. What if you guys don't maintain your area and it's like I have problems overflowing? Like we spend a lot of money like spraying for algae and overgrowth and maintenance and things like that. How's that gonna work?
The same thing, there is gonna be a homeowner association for this project, similar like the your homeowner association. And now the new rules and regulations, you guys don't have those rules and regulations in place because that was done before. But the new rules and regulations by the water management district, they actually need to put financial assurances that they will maintain the facility per design. So yes, they're gonna have to maintain it, every year, and even more often than every year, they have to maintain
So
the water systems.
yeah, 70 houses or 70 doors or whatsoever. Like that's about like what you guys said. That's not a lot of households to be able to maintain something like that. It's very expensive to do that. I don't expect them to be able to afford to do that. Otherwise, they're gonna have like large association fees.
They have to maintain it. It's not a choice. Like I said, the water management district requires to do that, and the county requires to do that. And we are proposing up to 72 houses.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sergio, you had mentioned you were proposing or y'all anticipated this development. I'm just trying to reconcile that with the property that I guess the property was, and maybe you can clarify this. The property was purchased in 2023 for $2,120,000 by J&W Parker Properties. Can you help me understand that? Because you said this is something that was forecasted when y'all built the first community in Chestnut Village, but I've been here since 2019. 2023, this property was purchased for, like I said, $2,120,000 by J&W Parker Properties. Who is J&W Parker Properties?
There is a company, they own the parcel, and it's a local company, actually, they own the parcel. Miss Chestnut, when we work in the original Chestnut plantation, Miss Chestnut was very involved in the design of all of this property. And you remember the history, and you probably do know that she used to live in that house for many years. When she used to live there, that was the reason that this parcel remained undeveloped until she decided to sell the property and the date that you mentioned. So, but she, from the beginning, there was the intent to develop all her property. She used to own all the property where Chestnut Plantation is located right now. And at the time, she decided, I'm gonna keep these 10 acres for myself for a little while until she decided to retire and move on. And that was the reason we planned to plan roads, utilities, stormwater facilities. All of that was already planned for the development of these final 10 acres.
And what is your relationship with J&W Parker Properties? What's EDA's
He's our
relationship?
client. He's our client. We represented them in the process.
Okay, so y'all are the developer and they just procured the land?
No, we are not the developer. We are the engineers and surveyors designing the project and getting permitted for them to construct the project.
Okay.
They
And then we-
develop the property. We just permitted for them.
Okay.
So speaking of engineering, I have a question on engineering. We've experienced at least 2 sinkholes in the last year with the current runoff we have into our, as you called it, basin. So with additional runoff, what recourse we have on this amount of sinkholes that we've already experienced in this runoff, adding to that with you guys with the new runoff? What kind of expense and what kind of expense assurance do we have of that?
Yeah, I have been there when they developed those sinkholes. I had to inspect them myself because I was the engineer of record in your subdivision also. So yeah, I'm very familiar with that. So there is no additional runoff coming to your basins. What is coming today is gonna be coming in the future because we have to contain any additional runoff in our properties. The problem with the sinkholes is, as you probably know, you guys got very sandy soil and there's a lot of lime rocks. And this time of the year, actually, this summer, we haven't got a lot of rain, unfortunately. So it gets really dry. And now when we get the rain, it's more likely we're gonna see a lot of sinkholes and not just in your parcel in particular, or not in your project, but everything around Southwest Alachua County. We are the engineers of record, for example, in Head Plantation, and there sinkholes every summer we get that. So, but this system actually, the thing that we do when we do upstream systems, they hold the water and they release in a pre-development condition. So there is no any different than what is happening today. No different anymore like that. But unfortunately, you guys gotta keep up with for the sinkholes, and the same for them. When they develop this property, they're gonna have to have the same issue that you guys have, and they have that's the reason the water management district and the county require financial assurances that the homeowner association can take care of that.
There are 53 people I've noticed on this call, so you can see where there is significant concerns. 2 days before Thanksgiving, I'm very impressed with the turnout, and I know a lot of people have other questions. So thank you, Chestnut family, for showing up. Again, 53 people 2 days before Thanksgiving. That shows obviously there's significant concerns with this new development. So please ask any other questions.
I have a question. I know probably you folks have discussed about 79th way traffic safety. I'm not able to understand full picture of it. Can you please explain whether this road need to be widened a little bit, or have you already taken out the survey for the traffic? And if not, when and who gonna do that? Whose responsibility that would be, and when we will hear about that when the survey is done?
Yeah, the traffic in 79th way, we talk a little bit about you guys, and I'm sure you live in there, you see the widening, the width of 79 way is wider than any other roads in your property. Actually, that's a 60-foot right of way. We have to dedicate that to the county with a 60-foot right of way. It's wider, like I said, it's wider than any of the other roads. All your roads in your subdivision is 50-foot wide right of way. But that was planned from the beginning to receive the traffic for this future development that we discussed today. So, and there were also substantial improvements that were done in Archer Road, the intersection of 79 Way and Archer Road. Now, I'm not sure that you guys know this or not. The county is in the process to extend the 4-lane in Archer Road from this location a little bit farther to the east, all the way to 91st Street. And that project is in the design stages right now. Excuse me. So the county is in the process of improving Archer Road. All the roads are county roads, as you probably know, and you can check that in your plat that they were dedicated to the county. So the county is the entity that maintain the roads. Our roads for this subdivision, we haven't decided yet. We're gonna give it to the county, or the developer is gonna, or the homeowner association will keep it in there. The county actually make that final decision when we go to the process of approval. So we don't know if that's the internal roads will be county dedicated or will remain or will be private maintained. Either way, they have to maintain it, in the way the county require.
Who
You're
who
still
are
not
you
answering the
working
question.
with in the county? Do you have a specific person?
We work with the whole county staff. This go to the whole county staff, the different departments. And normally the Sumida go to the grow management first, and they distribute it to the different departments. All the departments in the county, public works, traffic, grow management, environmental protection, all those departments gonna review this project very careful.
We have a
Hmm.
hand raised from.
I-
I have another question. So I'm also very concerned. I'm opposing this development. I'm especially concerned about the plan that extending the 60th Avenue and then directly connecting these new development areas to the inner part of our community. I feel like that will increase the traffic flow in our community and then having unnecessary personnel enters into our community. So I wonder if the new plan have any consideration on that perspective.
Okay, thank you.
I still not get the answer for that, whether you have done the survey for the traffic or
Yes, there is a calculation on how many trips we generated in this development, and that will be part of our application to the county. Again, the county will review that information and decide if we need to do any other additional traffic reports.
and when we're
So-
gonna hear about that?
We are planning to submit in December this application to the county. The county take around 3-4 weeks before we hear from them. And then, like I mentioned in my schedule, probably you
Mhm.
miss it. We are expected this we go in the beginning of in the spring 2026, the county commission will hear this project.
So just so I understand, to clarify, there's no traffic analysis to see the impact of the potential of 73 homes, say the average person, maybe 3 to a home, 4 to a home, 280 more individual cars driving out of 79th. That has not been considered. When you did the traffic analysis, it was mainly just for Chestnut Village. No traffic analysis or studies been done for the traffic impact of this new development, which again would have, I think you said, an upwards of 73 townhomes on it, which potentially could be another 300 people driving out of on 79th.
That's
We do it-
exactly what I was gonna say. That in my husband and I, we were calculating, let's just say just two cars per home. That is still 144 vehicles traveling our roads, and it is already impossible for him to get to work on time, and it is we are just very, very opposed on getting this community built up using our roads. We're already having to struggle to get out currently. I cannot even imagine adding 100, let's just say 2 vehicles per home, 144 vehicles more into our roads. We already having to deal with people from Hickory Forest coming our road, the new construction that is happening over in Park Lane. Why don't you guys use Park Lane to go in and out?
First of all, there is a property between us and Park Lane isn't supposed to connect in here. You are not adjacent to Park Lane. We are not adjacent to Park Lane. So if they are using this road for Park Lane construction, that is not allowed, okay? There is another parcel between this parcel, your project, and Park Lane. Park Lane, it doesn't about this property except in the north part. Second, the roads are the county roads. They are public roads. So we have the right to use those public roads. And again, we have done a traffic generation to estimate how many trips it will be generated this project, and that information will be provided to the county for them to determine if there is any required improvements in the roads.
Can you share, or is it okay for you to share what you're gonna submit?
That will be submitted. Once we submit it, it's a public information, and you guys can talk with the county and you get everything from the county.
Yeah,
At
so
least-
the application will be taken with our concerns, and then put on a website, and that's where we, obviously, Sergio is going to capture our concerns. Obviously, this is a recorded Zoom, but in addition to that, there'll be a website and with a link where we can write our comments, is my understanding. How is your proposed project consistent with the current comprehensive plan and future land use map?
Like I mentioned before, the land use and the existing zoning, we are meeting the requirements of the comprehensive plan. The land use and the existing zoning allow 4 to 8 units per acre, which means this project that is allowed by right 80 units. We are only proposing 72 units at this time, up to 72 units.
And will you commit to providing again, this is going to be on the website, but all the final studies, whether it be traffic, stormwater, environmental, to our neighborhood before these public hearings? That's going to be on the website, is my understanding. And
no, all the submittals will be done to the county. You can request that information from the county. We cannot provide information until we submit to the county. The county is where you can access that information. I'll be glad to, when we submit the application, I'll be glad to put in the website where you can get it from the county, who you should contact from the county. But everything has to go through the process, which is making the county submit officially the package that we submit to them, and you guys can review it and look at it there.
Sergio, why, if you're a homeowner, we're going to make you living in Chestnut Village. We're just going to make you an honorary resident, and you're living here. Can you articulate why should the existing neighborhood support a project that increases density, traffic, noise, and safety concerns without providing clear benefits or protections for you? Say you lived here. What are the benefits to us? Because I'm not seeing any benefits here.
The projects are not developed for benefits of the neighbors adjacent to the property. The property owners have the right to develop according to the rules and regulations. And that's what we're doing. This property in particular, it was master planned from day one. Before any of you guys live in Chestnut Plantation, we master planned the Chestnut family actually was the one ask us and ask the prior owner, the developer of Chestnut Plantation, to master plan this for the future. So that's the way it was then. It took that many years to come back and develop this property because Ms. Chestnut, like I mentioned before, was living there before. So I understand your concern, and I 100% understand your concerns with everybody. But also the property owners have the right to develop according to the rules and regulations. We are not asking, this application is not asking for anything special. We are not asking for rezoning on the property. We are not asking for additional units. There is allowed by right. Actually, we probably gonna have less units because there is limited space. There are beautiful trees in the property that we're trying to save. We're gonna be saving those trees, particularly the one in the existing house. So all of those requirements limited the amount of development. And that's how development happen and how the cities and counties grow. So, but like I said, we are not asking for anything special at this time.
And I'm
Hello?
just, again, just, go ahead. Someone had a question.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I have a question. Where you build a new fence between the along the 60 Avenue?
16th Avenue, yes, we are connecting the road in there. That stop out of the road, it was planned for that end of the road. Right now, the road end, there is no like a way to turn around or anything like that. But there always was planned that we will go and connect in there and in connecting 79 way. Those two roads.
I mean, here, yes, two questions. One it is where you build a new fence or keep the between our community to your new yes
I have that same question.
or keep the current steel fence.
Again, like I said, these roads and more likely these proposed roads are public roads. They are dedicated to the public. So anybody can use it. You cannot, oh, by the way, the county doesn't allow gated communities. So there is no gated communities in the county now. They used to, not any
We're not,
longer.
sir, I think, let me reiterate, and I apologize to do any kind of explaining for the gentleman's behalf. The question isn't about the road. We understand the road is a public road. We're asking for a delineation line between us and the new community, similar to how we have between us and Hickory right now. We have a fence that clearly defines where Hickory begins and where Chestnut Village begins. We currently have a chain link fence between us and the Chestnut Families community. We are asking, will you be building another fence other than that chain link fence to have a clear line between us and this new community? Nothing to do with the road, sir.
I don't know yet about if that's the case or not, because it depends on the final design. We need to have a fence or not. I cannot definitely promise that, but definitely something that we can take into the consideration.
I think so. We currently have a chain link fence. Like I'm one of the properties that abut to the acreage back there, and like we have like the Chestnuts put a fence there like a millennia ago. So
Yeah.
are you gonna tear down that fence? That's my question. As one of the people that abuts to it.
Yeah, more likely the chain link fence has to be removed because the county doesn't allow chain link fence, by the way, in the new projects. But the question was, can we propose a new fence in there? And like I say, I cannot promise that, but definitely something that we consider.
Yeah, because right now I think it's essentially like on the property line, if I'm not mistaken. Depending on the survey, I don't know how they installed it. I have to look at my survey line.
Yeah, it's in the property line. It's right in the property line. Yes.
So if it's on the property line, I don't know how that works. Like, wouldn't we have a shared interest there? Like, are they just gonna tear down my fence and I have to spend thousands of dollars now to fence up my backyard that abuts to like a new road that's built there that wasn't there when I bought it?
Right.
Like that's a concern. Like we're like this whole road is gonna have to spend thousands of dollars to put up new fences.
If the county or the developer considering putting the fence will be in this development property, not in your property, of course. So, but like I said, I'll pass your concern to the developer, and we'll look at it, see if there is the possibility of put a fence in there.
Yeah, there's also a drop off from my property to where the new road is gonna go, like probably like 2 to 3 feet. Is that drop off gonna remain, or are they gonna put up like? Do you think they're gonna put up like retention walls, or what's gonna happen? Do you have any idea about that?
The road has to match the two roads, so it's gonna be connecting at the elevation here and in the elevation in there. So more likely, this is gonna be some fill. There's gonna be some dirt in there to fill up the road to match that elevations in there.
Okay.
To add on to what Omar was saying, I'm trying to better understand, where is that road coming out? Is that coming out between homes, or where does that, I can envision going behind Omar's house and some of the other houses, but where does that's connecting the 60th? 60th and right in front of my home.
That's gonna be connected. Yeah, it's gonna be connected right here at the existing road, and you're gonna have exactly the same type of road. The paved road, 24 time, sidewalks on both sides. All of that has to be extended all the way to 79 way. The same type of road that you guys have in your subdivision, that is gonna continue in this area.
So it's going to connect to the road in front of the mailboxes. I'm just trying to better understand where that
Yes.
road comes out at.
Mhm.
I think that's the road where we do our meet and greet before.
Oh, okay.
60th Avenue.
So then it'll have to go around. It'll have to take a left and go around. It can't go through houses. I see what you're saying. It's gonna stop right there.
And speaking of that area, there's a trail that ends right there, but to that property that is our personal community trail that is not county owned. How do we assure that no usage occurs outside of what Chestnut Village? Because it looks like it's going to be going to appear to be part of the community that you guys are building, even though it really isn't.
I understand that. That's again, when we go to the process with the county, the county requested, or we connect to that trail or we don't connect to that trail. Our stormwater system, there's all of this area in here, our ponds, they had to have a trail around, all in the top, like yours. There's a requirement the county. Not necessarily we need to connect to the trail, to your trail. That's a separate system, but the county, I'm sure, gonna make, comments and questions about that, and we'll respond to those comments. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then you do quick question. There are a lot of questions in the chat, Sergio, if you can answer some of those, but just to understand the process again, to reiterate what you said is, you have the county requires you to do this workshop meeting with us. So you meet that requirement. You take our notes, put in with the application. You submit the application to the county. The county then puts that on a website where we can put our objections clearly on that website, which I have that website. And then from there, at some point in time, this goes before the county commission. And then there's public comment for the county commission. So it's not an automatic Chestnut family, as you know. It's a process that you'll have to go through. So I know we're talking about the what if this, but obviously the project has to be approved. So we do. But I know you could see obviously a significant amount of concern. I would imagine, you probably don't see 53 people on a call like this. So there are a lot of questions in the chat. Would you mind answering some of those, Sergio?
Sure, go ahead.
What kind of residential buildings will they be? A townhome?
It will be a single family attached buildings. That's what we are proposing at this time, which it will look like townhomes probably.
Townhomes, okay.
We are not designing the buildings itself. That's part of the different consultants, but what we are proposing, like we say in the application and the presentation, is single family attached homes.
Will this negatively impact our house values and the safety of our community?
I don't know about, I'm an engineer. I'm not working with the money in the market, so I don't know what impact. The thing we can tell you by sure, because we do a lot of projects, my company does a lot of projects. Every time a new project comes along, the property values increase in the adjacent communities, but don't believe it from me. You're gonna see it in the future. So again, I cannot tell you either.
Do we know who the prospective builder will be? Will it be D.R. Horton or someone else?
No, I don't expect that this will be one of the nationwide builders. I believe our client is a builder. He might build it himself.
Like a local builder in Gainesville?
Yeah, that's what they've been telling us. There's be a local builder.
And obviously I understand there's affordable housing requirements and things like that with the county. Do you know kind of an idea of what these will sell for? Is this a part of affordable housing, or a little bit more about the project in general?
No, there is no affordable housing. We are not asking for any credits for affordable housing or any new density increase or anything like that. This is a straight zoning, so the application, it doesn't consider any affordable housing incentives this time.
And what are the square foot? You said it's a townhome, so it's like a downstairs, upstairs would be one unit, and about how many?
I haven't seen the design of the houses itself.
We don't know if they're 2-bedroom, 3 bedrooms.
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah, it seems
What are
like
the prices of the townhomes?
I don't know the prices either. You know, like I tell you, we do the engineer, we do the design of the lots, and then the builders come and build the houses, and probably can be different type of housing, you know, different models, you know, that way.
What is the lot size, Sergio?
Oh, the typical lot, we have different typical lot sizes right now. The reason we say 70 up to 72 is because once the county say, okay, this is the area, this is fine for preliminary development plan, so then we can start working in the details of the lots and how wide the lot is gonna be, how deep the lot is gonna be, you know, all of these things. Can we accommodate all of that? Can we actually get to 72, or it's gonna be, you know, few less of those lots? That's part of the process. Like Mr. Henley mentioned it, you know, this is what we call a preliminary development plan, is kind of allocate the space for the different facilities, the roads, the lots, the stormwater facility, the trees that we have to save. That's very important. We need to keep certain amount of trees. They definitely will love to do that because they are beautiful trees in the property.
Sergio, I asked about the size of the lot, each lot.
I don't know exactly what the size of the lot is gonna be right now. Like I say, we are trying to make happen 72 lots in here, okay? But at the end of the day, when we go for the final development, you're gonna see all the details, and like we're gonna have to prepare a plan with the size of the lots, how the sidewalks, how the roads, all of that.
How will parking be? Are they got garages?
I will imagine the more likely the wheels on the houses. I don't know. Again, I haven't seen the design of the houses, so I cannot tell either way.
And is it common that you have meetings like this without the builder? Because it seems like we would have the complete picture. It seems like a lot of these questions would be answered by the builder, and obviously you're on the engineering side.
Right. It happened all the time. You know, even when we did Chestnut Plantation, we didn't know the size of the houses. We didn't know what type of houses they were gonna be. So we lay out the lots, and as you guys know, there are different sizes of lots. There are some a little bit smaller lots, bigger lots, middle-sized lots, all kind of little things. That decision happen at the end of the day, you know, when you try to develop this property or any property in that matter, you know, it come out with different lots, and but we are not there yet. We will be there when we submit for the final development plan. If you know, when the county commission approved this preliminary development plan, then we work in that.
Right now, the traffic flow, there are construction trucks coming from the apartment complex. That's if you go all the way down next to Chestnut, the Chestnut House, we'll call it, the residence. You said you're potentially turning into a clubhouse or proposing that. Is that going to be closed off after construction, or is there traffic coming through there as well?
To tell you the truth, I didn't know that they were using that as a traffic, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
I know that can you guys see my screen again?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I know this is Park Avenue, this property in here. This is a separate parcel that's not part of any of the development there. I know that they have an easement. They go through here. It's in their property. I know that for a matter of fact because we had to double check that. But I didn't know that they were using your road, to tell you the truth.
Yes, where that arrow is, if you go to like you're going to the Chestnut home, There's a cut through. They've opened that up in construction. Dirt trucks are coming through left and right. And my concern, even if we didn't have that traffic, there's a significant amount of traffic from what you're proposing, but the trucks are coming in and out of that road to finish off apartments, which will come, looks like right up to that road.
I understand. Like I tell you, the road is public, so they have the right to use it. But going through here, the only thing I can think of it is that they have an easement in there, you know, along their property line, and that's the reason they're using. But at the end of the day, they were using 79 way.
Yeah. But again, even with that, not doing that, there's still major traffic and safety concerns in addition to other concerns with this project.
Yeah.
Maria or anybody else? Any other questions?
Yeah, I mean, if I may say something.
Yes.
Sergio, just for you to know that the roads in Chestnut Village are very narrow, that when there are cars parked on both sides, both ends rather, left or right, it is so difficult to get through that. So if a car or an SUV is having a hard time getting through it, more so with a fire truck or an ambulance, they will never be able to get through. So my point is, adding 100 or 70 or 140 more cars going through, weaving through those areas, traffic there is really horrendous. And if you get out of Southwest 79th, right, I'm supposed to turn left, but I can't. So I turn right, and years ago, I really got into an accident with my daughter that my car spun. So adding more, it's horrendous there already in the morning, and in the afternoon starting around 4 o'clock. So as like what Chad was saying, we welcome you to stay in Chestnut Village if you want to experience what it is. So, you know, you have to really consider that. That's why we oppose, or we are saying no to this development, you know?
Ms. Mueller, I understand, and I particularly understand the width of the road, like you mentioned, and that's very important. We have to design according to the county rules and regulations, how the width of that road. And I can tell you one more thing, the county now require that they make the roads narrower, okay? And we've been fighting with the county about that exactly with the issues that you mentioned, right? Particularly that issue. But they want us to actually make the roads narrow, the pavement even narrower that you have. You have in your subdivision, like I mentioned before, it's a 50-foot right of way. That's with the road, the sidewalk, and all of that. And you got a 24-foot pavement. That doesn't happen too often in the new subdivisions. They want it even narrower than that. So yeah, I 100%, you know, agree with your concern, and I understand, but unfortunately or fortunately, you know, we have to design according to the rules and regulations.
Hi, I would just like to make a comment before we get off the call. I'm one of the original residents to Chestnut, even prior to 79th being open. A couple of concerns, although I love Mrs. Chestnut's plan, I think we have to take into consideration the growth in Gainesville that has happened since that plan was developed. It's been a frequent topic on the news lately of the amount of commuters coming in from Levy County, taking up driving space on 24. That road's going to be expanded to 4 lanes. And I just want to make sure for this recorded call that we have documentation that it is really imperative that a road study be done, because that exit is connecting now with your development 3 different neighborhoods. And it's really a very serious, life-threatening thing to make a left-hand turn when the cars are coming from Levy County and all the growth that's happened down that way going into Gainesville. So I think that although the plan looks beautiful, we have to take into consideration, since the plan was made, the increased amount of commuters coming into Gainesville, increasing the cars on that road, and how dangerous it should be a basic right for a homeowner to get out on a main street to go to a grocery store or a gas station.
Pag matagal na nakasit na nakadrive, walang water.
Yeah, that is, I'm gonna chime in here, and I fully agree with her. I was born in Florida, lived here all but 4 years of my life, and the exponential growth in the communities in Florida. It happens. And so I am curious about, you know, what is going to be proactively done versus waiting to see if the county, which they're farther removed from just working and living inside Chestnut Village, and the fact that those roads there, all of our roads are county owned. At this point, are they going to be included in part of the study? So that way they're being proactive and not like, okay, at this point in time, we don't have all the extra 150 plus cars coming from a community that will be developed over the next few years. But how can we make it where the new community, the members of the new community, feel at home and safe, just like we are vested to keep that the same for us as well. So what do you advise us if it's not within your hands to be able to be proactive in trying to get another traffic study, trying to make sure that is including all of the very narrow roads in our community as well, since it's not something that we are allowed to vote on as an HOA to have a couple speed bumps put in the middle of 60th Road, because I've seen people get up to 50 miles an hour. I like to drive fast myself, but I'm not going to do it where I know that someone could just pop right out and I could be in an accident in a neighborhood or run over a child. So what can be done for that piece? I think that's a very impactful piece that could help to soothe the concerns that Chestnut Village has, and also for potential home buyers when they see what the situation is. They come to look at a house, they can't even take a left turn out to leave. They're not going to buy. I wouldn't buy. So
yeah, I understand your concern. Like I mentioned before, the county is in the process to improve an Archer Road, and I suggested that, you know, I'm sure they're gonna make some. They normally do neighborhood workshop like this when they go to the process, and definitely something that, you know, you guys can present your input to the county, because the county is the one in control the road, like I mentioned before.
do they have a timeline? Because you said about you know, expanding Archer Road, which I mean that could be like, that makes me think of, okay, a constant thing, right? Because it's a large main road in the community. I-4 has been expanding and being operated on since as long as I've been alive, I'm pretty sure. So what is the ETA on that? And really, I mean, that's wonderful that they will be looking at Archer Road, but we're looking at the roads within the current community, the roads within the potential future community, especially 79th Way and a left turn. How is that going to be addressed? Like, do we have anything concrete? Do you have any advice for us as a community as to who we should reach out to? Because at the end of the day, it's also going to help with the new community and, you know, making those residents feel safe, feel at home, and, you know, frankly, even want to consider purchasing when they have to already share all these roads that are very narrow and not very safe.
Again, this go to the process. You can present your concerns to the county. When we go to the county commissioner, it goes all the way to the county commissioner. The county study all the roads in the county, and they analyze it and their traffic counts and so on. And they, you know, so that's the only way. That's the process to your concerns. And I understand your concern very clear, and we pass it along to the county.
I also have a question on traffic. So I saw that the other map that you were just showing, there was a road, is the Southwest 60s Plaza Road, and then the Southwest 50s lane. Is there any plans to connect this new neighborhoods to those two roads, so which will also give people who live in our community a direct access to directly to exit from the Tower Road, which will reduce the traffic on the 79th Way? Is there any?
I don't know the answer to that, Ms. Blue. We're not working in that project myself. I don't know if they're gonna be interconnected in there. I can tell you one thing. One of the county policies in the comp plan that Mr. Henley mentioning, there is interconnectivity, which I mean the county like to interconnect all the neighbors, okay? Because that then direct traffic internally to the neighbors and to the congested areas. But I have not seen the plan for on the development today.
I think there's a good amount of questions in the chat.
Yeah, we're gonna try to respond to that. Give me a second.
Do you need to borrow your mouse?
Okay.
There was a question about fire safety. If there was an accident here at this intersection, the residents couldn't get out, is what somebody said.
Okay, so the part of the review process with the county is the fire department also review this subdivision, this layout, and they will comment about do we have a good access, with access for the fire trucks, can they reach all the units, and so on. So the fire department is part of the review staff that will look at this project.
Will the county consider putting a traffic light between the intersection of Southwest 79th Way and Archer Road?
That is, again, what I mentioned before, the county is in the process to analyze Archer Road, and they're gonna be improving Archer Road, and definitely they will look into that, consider that. Suggested to talk with the county, and again, we'll list it in our website, who is the people to contact, if you need to have a contact person from the county.
When Southwest 60th is extended and you place fill to raise the road, will retention walls be built to maintain the integrity of the land at the property line?
We don't know yet how that would work out. Again, we haven't worked out the construction plans yet. It's one step at a time. We gotta be sure that the county commissioners approve this configuration, this layout, and then we'll move on into the construction plan. But whatever it happen, it will be definitely stable, and it wouldn't be any issues with instability of the road.
The second part of that question was that the backyards will back up to the road, and there is concern about the removal of the fence and safety and financial ramifications.
We talk about the potential and proposing a fence in our south property line and the project south property line, but we'll discuss that, the concern for that with the developer, and I'm sure the county might require us to put a fence in there.
Based on the map, how can you build 72 single house and with clubhouse in 1/3 of the area compared to Chestnut Village? Seems it will be very dense or not single houses.
It will be smaller lots. The Chestnut Plantation definitely will be a smaller lots, and these are single family attached, so they don't have any side yards or anything like that, so they can build the houses. But that's the process that we're going through right now, and see how we can make that fit.
Safety concerns, including traffic, general safety, and community. We did not see them addressed in the proposal.
Again, we discussed about the safety, the access to the property, how this was planned long time ago, access in there. So again, the safety, when you guys talking about safety, talking about traffic. So I believe that's the concern, and I'll explain as much as the information I have at this time.
As well as emergency services as well.
Yes, sir. Emergency service, like I said, the emergency vehicles, they will be analyzed by the fire department. If the fire truck come in here, the emergency vehicles also can come in here and go around. We have to provide access to all the lot, not excuse me. The fire truck can access any of the units, the proposed units in this subdivision, like any other unit in your subdivision.
They want to know, will they get that report when it is complete, the fire department report on traffic?
That is part of the staff report, and that's a public, when the county provide us with the report, that's a public report that anybody can read.
Can you propose that they connect to different or other roads?
There is no other road to connect to it. Like I said, the part to the north is already a platted subdivision. There are lots in there. There is no other road to connect it. We are not proposing connect to the east side either, because that is their own development. So we don't see any connection in there. There is the opportunity if that development decide to extend the roads connections to the north side. Have a second.
Yes.
Sorry about that. If the development to the east of us decide to propose a road connecting to this road, I'm sure we're gonna have to connect to that road, but we don't know if that's gonna happen or not. No guarantees for that. What else?
I think that was it.
There is a lot of other questions, but they're around the same type of question. I hope I try to answer all your questions. Does anybody has any additional questions? Okay.
Can you give us the time frames one more time? So this is,
Yes, sir.
You'll
Yes, sir.
take this information, you'll put it in an application and submit it on what date? When will this be submitted to the county?
We're gonna submit in December. The first week in December, we'll be submitting to the county the plan. This plan that you guys see in there is what we're gonna submit. There is a little more information. That package is a full package of information to the county. Goes there, and the county staff review this application. First, they review to be sure it's complete. If it is not complete, they return it back to us. If it is complete, they start their process of review. It takes around a month, and of course we're gonna be in holidays, so we don't know exactly when it's gonna be a month. Then they give us some comments back and forth a couple of times, and then finally they decide to schedule the meeting with the county commissioner. So we expect that to happen sometime in the spring of 2026. We don't know exactly when it's gonna happen. The county staff make that decision, make that schedule. So we'll expect to have a commission in there. When the county schedule this project to go to the county commissioner, all the neighbors adjacent to the property will be notified. The association will be notified that meeting, and you guys gonna see another sign there, more sign posted in there at the property. So you will be informed that meeting will be happening.
Okay, it looked like there might be one more comment in there. I don't know if you saw
Yes.
that in the chat.
The townhouse community will probably have a very short trail considering the property size, and their 100+ members will likely use our trails that we pay to maintain, especially considering the open access with 2 shared roads.
Like I mentioned, the county is gonna decide if we're gonna connect the trails or not. They look at it holistically, the different communities together. You as a homeowner association, of course, you have the right to say, no, we don't wanna connect, we don't want you guys to connect to our trail. And you have the right to ask to the county, or indicate that to the county. So, but like I said, we are not planning to do that this time, but we'll see what the county say. Yes, sir.
I'm the one who asked you that question, and I wanted to clarify based on your answer. So even if county doesn't force people to connect the trails, it's a fact that those community members may still use our trails because theirs will probably be very short and small, and ours will be open access. We have a very long trail. Because we're already going through that because all Hickory people come to our trails to walk their dogs and stuff like that. So regardless whether the county forces a connection or not, they will still be used. That's what my concern.
Yeah, I understand that. And again, the trails, and you have a long trail around your subdivision. Again, we designed that trail for you guys and are very familiar with that, been there. The county is the one who decide who have the opportunity to use those trails. I don't recall by memory if those trails have an easement, a public easement for everybody, for the public to use it, or just for the community only. But again, that's the county decision. When they have rules and regulations, and in the comp plan and the comprehensive plan, they indicate, certain requirements how we have to do the trails. This development, our development is,
then they should take over the responsibility then, if that's something the county decides.
yes. I mean, like I said, you got the opportunity to discuss that with the, mentioning that to the county. We don't want people from this development, using our trails. But again, it's it's not our decision. Let me put it that way. We either way, you know, we cannot say if they say, okay, you need to connect the trail so the people from Chestnut Plantation can come in here. That they would see we have to do. And the people from this development go to Chestnut Plantation again. This is the county make that decision for us.
Do you
All
only
right.
do what's required by the county, or are there ever times where you say, you know what, let's do a little above and beyond because of safety concerns or just?
We normally do way and beyond, and I'll give you an example. Again, we designed Chestnut Plantation. That trail that's surrounded in your property in the south side of your property and the west side of your property, it is very low compared with your houses and back in there. We propose that to the county. We actually proposed it because that wasn't a requirement at the time to provide that trail. But we proposed it because we're gonna have at the time of the development of Chestnut Plantation, the developer wanna have a little separation from the neighbors by himself. So he proposed that trail around.
And then just in summary, what are the concerns that, you know, the major concerns that you've documented from this call from us? I mean, you don't have to go through details, but main categories, just to make sure we're on the same page.
I think the major concern that you all have is traffic and safety. That's your major concern that I heard from everybody, basically. There are other minor concerns like, you know, the fencing, the trails connection, the, you know,
Storm drainage.
The stormwater facilities, so on. But I believe that your main concern is traffic, and definitely something that we'll mention in our, this, by the way, this meeting is being recorded, and you know, it will be part of the application for the,
yeah.
For the county.
There's more concerns, but you hit some of the you know, some of the major ones. But I just want to make sure, again, I'm glad you've recorded it, but that's why we definitely feel that this is an unfair burden to us as property owners with those major concerns there. So, yeah, thank you for answering our questions, and we look forward to participating in the process.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for attending the meeting today.
Anyone else have anything before we go?
Before we go, yeah.
I do have one more thing. So if you could include a major concern, the property values, because
Okay.
up to this point we don't know what kind of housing that's gonna being built there. So that's a concern because it's like an uncertainty right now.
Okay, we'll definitely include that. Thank you.
Anyone else?
All right. Good night.